inside the boat. Also, parents, keep an eye on your children, make sure that they stay in the bike inside the boat also. And children, keep an eye on your parents to make sure they do too. As a courtesy of the other people in the boat, please, no flash photography or video lights until we reach the greenhouses. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy living with the land.
Discovery and awareness of the richness, the diversity, and the often surprising nature of living with the land. Our journey begins as dramatic and sudden changes are sweeping over the land. The approaching storm may seem violent and destructive to us, but to nature, it's a new beginning in the cycle of life.
Everyone in the front boat, for a safety measure, could all of you scoot slightly to your left to help balance out the boat better so that we don't bump up against the walls violently? Just a little bit more.
Beneath the surface of the land, roots trap water from the flowing blood, extracting precious nutrients and minerals. These elements, when combined with sunlight, create the diverse living systems of our planet. One of those living systems is the rainforest, home to the most amazing concentration of life on our planet. These dense and beautiful forests cover only a tiny portion of the Earth's surface, but they contain more than half of its plant and animal species. Rainforests are also extremely rich and productive living systems, providing us with oxygen, food, medicine, and other elements essential to our lives. In the desert, nature has created a very different, but no less beautiful, living system. And while this arid landscape may seem lifeless, it is very much alive. The plants and animals that have learned to survive in these harsh conditions make use of what little water they can find and avoid the scorching rays of the relentless sun. The American prairie once appeared as desolate as the desert, but over time, rainwater and nutrients gradually penetrated the hard surface of this land. Even the hooves of the mighty buffalo helped create the rich soil that would one day become home to the American farm. Of all the forces at work on the land, humans have had one of the most profound effects. The need to produce food for a growing world led to the enormous use, and sometimes overuse, of the land. In our search for more efficient ways to grow food, we often fail to realize the impact of our methods. Today, we're learning to live with the land, discovering better ways to grow food that will assure both human and environmental well-being. We're learning to reduce the need for pesticides by using natural predators like ladybugs and wasps. We're learning that farming vegetation controlling natural fertility is really enrich the soil without the risk of cleaning. How will we meet tomorrow's growing needs for food production, yet still respect the needs of the land? Some of the answers are being discovered just ahead.
Hello again, everybody. Here in our living laboratory, scientists from EPCOT, the Department of Agriculture, NASA, and Nestle are exploring innovative and sustainable methods of food production. As part of our Flower and Garden Festival Salute to International Crops here at EPCOT, we are working with the Future Harvest Center to showcase new crop growing ideas from around the world. The Lucina and Sesbania trees here on the right are being grown in Africa to help replenish soil and increase crop yield. These fast-growing trees take nitrogen from the air and release natural. The taro root is a low-cost staple throughout Africa. When I mention farming, you probably wouldn't think about fish, but fish farming, or aquaculture, is being used to increase yields and protect wild fish stocks. Tilapia, such as these, are a favorite of fish farmers around the world. In Asia, they are often raised in rice paddies, where the fish waste provides nutrients for the rice. This is a great example of sustainable resource management. Alligators such as these are no longer an endangered species. In fact, there are over 1 million alligators in Florida alone. Many alligators are raised on farms for their meat and hides, while others play a key role in wetlands conservation. We can produce almost 6,500 pounds of fish per year in this one aqua cell. Many of the fish grown here are featured in the restaurants at Walt Disney World. Pumpkins and corn are two of the many important crops that originated in Latin America. The teosinte you see here is an ancestor of today's corn. Through centuries of selective breeding, this weedy little plant has developed into the world's most commonly grown grain. Scientists in India and Mexico have been working together to make corn more nutritious. The corn you see on these large stalks here look and taste like regular corn, but contain as much protein as cow's milk. It's been a major breakthrough in the fight against malnutrition. Here we are exploring innovative ways of growing Asian crops. By growing plants vertically, we allow for better airflow through the leaves, which helps the plants resist disease. Asian cucumbers are another way that we fight disease. These plants are naturally resistant to powdery mildew, a fungus which damages plants and reduces crop yield. By growing disease-resistant plants and using beneficial insects to eat insect pests, we've been able to reduce our use of pesticides significantly. Winged beans are something you may be seeing more of in the future. Every part of the plant is edible, they're high in protein, they taste great in stir-fry, and they even release nitrogen, a natural fertilizer, into the soil as they grow. So it's easy for you to see why many people are calling the winged bean the next miracle plant. Of course, they're edible and many are high in vitamins. Exotic plants such as these are appearing in kitchens around the world. In our creative greenhouse, we're exploring cutting-edge research that may change the way we grow crops. You might have noticed that we have no soil in any of our greenhouses. This technique is known as hydroponics and is already in use in many places where the soil has been depleted. We take it a step further, however, with our computer-controlled drip irrigation system and are even experimenting with aeroponics. Here in our lab, scientists from Epcot and the Department of Agriculture are improving plants through biotechnology. And this final experiment is out of this world as we work with NASA to learn how we'll grow crops for space colonies. There's so much we can learn from science and nature about living with the land. What you've seen in these greenhouses today is just a small part of the story. Once harvested, the crops need to be handled with care as they make their long journey from the fields to your table.
It's the teacher from Finding Nemo.